February 20th, 2011, 5,885 American servicemen and women have been killed in action fighting in the war on terror in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's 5,885, which is too many. Over 55 million people died all around the globe as a result of World War II. And keep in mind, that's just one war. War is defined as a state of open, armed, often prolonged, violent conflict carried on between nations, states, or parties. It may seem that the definition of war is very specific, but I believe that it can have different meanings to different people depending on their relationship or exposure to it. To help explain what I'm trying to say, first I'd like to take a look at what war can mean to a soldier who is in combat, and I'd also like to take a look at what war can mean to the loved ones of the soldier. To give some insight on what war can mean to a soldier, I will use my own experience in combat to paint a picture of what it looks like through the eyes of a soldier. When a soldier enters a combat zone, the reality of war sets in instantaneously, and the meaning of the word changes a little bit. For a soldier, war means the possibility of having to kill another human being, and in many cases, it becomes a reality when you're faced with the decision to take another human's life in order to preserve your own. For a soldier, war means having to face your fears of death, because you know that you could be killed at any moment, never getting a chance to say goodbye to your loved ones, your children, your spouse, your parents or your siblings, or any of your friends. To a soldier, war means having to watch some of your closest friends be killed in horrific ways right before your eyes and not being able to do anything about it. To a soldier, war means hell. It's complete devastation. It means hatred, fear, anger, sadness, anxiety, and extreme sorrow. It means death, killing, hurt, and unexplainable horror. Now, let's take a look at what the word can mean to the loved ones of the soldier. To do that, let's put ourselves in the shoes of the loved ones. Try to imagine that you're a mother or a father who has to watch your child go to war. Your entire life, since they were born, has been spent caring for them and loving them and protecting your child more than anyone else ever could. And then one day they go off to war and you don't know if you'll ever see them again. You spend every waking moment trying not to think about what might happen to your child. You live each day with your heart in your stomach, praying and hoping that you don't get a knock on the door. Stress, anxiety, depression, worry, hopelessness, fear, and helplessness are feelings that you battle nonstop. Sometimes you feel like you're dreaming. And then one day that knock comes and you feel like, and then one day that knock comes. When you answer the door, there's a man standing there with a flag. He doesn't have to say anything because you already know that your child is gone. In that moment, the meaning of the word war changes drastically. For others, maybe it might be your parents who have to go to war, or a brother, or a sister, or a best friend, or someone else that you care about deeply. I think it's safe to say that the meaning of the word war can change quite a bit when you experience it this way. War is defined as a state of open, armed, often prolonged, violent conflict carried on between nations, states, or parties. Although there are many different meanings of the word, one common thing that exists in all is the loss of human life. Some of the more complicated questions that surround war can be very tough to answer, but might help define what the word means to you. For example, when does war become necessary? When does it become justifiable? And are there times that war is the only option? And are you willing to go to war to fight for something that you believe in? Ask you to consider those questions for yourselves. And in doing so, you might find out what that word means to you. I'd like to leave you with a quote from a man who's credited with inventing the atom bomb, Albert Einstein, who said, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones."